taxi takes me to the large hotel hosting the event. There's even a red carpet rolled up in the front. They went all out. I suddenly feel like royalty when I exit the car and my heartbeat speeds up a little bit. This is definitely getting exciting. At the door, I show my invitation to the lackey and he waves me inside, pushing the large white doors open for me. I follow the red carpet up the stairs, lifting up my dress so that my heels don't tear the fabric. For a small while, I feel a little bit like Cinderella, and I enter the ballroom with a slight smile on my lips. The sound of classical music hits my ears immediately. My mouth just about drops open at the sight before me. This room is gorgeous, but not only that, the people are as well. The room is filled with people buzzing around. Lots of gold, purple, and blue sequined outfits are among the crowd. And of course, the most important thing, the extravagant masks. People with the most exquisite masks walk by me, and I'm suddenly really glad for the fact that I placed so much time and effort into making my own, because some of these masks may make mine pale in comparison. If there weren't any celebrities among them, I wouldn't know, considering everyone is hiding their identity. Not wanting to stand there and gawk at people, I quickly make my way over to one of the buffet tables because that's what you do when you're nervous. It's a long table with white tablecloth loaded with dishes of expensive-looking food. I'm surprised they didn't skimp on the food because I've seen what kind of buffet food a hotel serves, but I guess NIEL deserves nothing but the best after all. A waiter quickly notices I'm not carrying a drink in my hand and hands me a glass of sparkling champagne. I thank him and start to take a little sip. Maybe the alcohol may give me a bit of courage, because I'm starting to feel a little out of my element here. I should be mingling, introducing myself to people and get my name out there, but now that I'm here, all alone, it feels rather daunting. Perhaps I'll stick to finding NIEL first. My eyes peer through my mask to see if I spot him anywhere. He shouldn't be that hard to spot. He's got purple hair after all. I sway from side to side to the music, my dress making swooping motions as it tries to follow my body. All of a sudden, someone from behind me tries to walk in front of me and ends up bumping into me. My champagne almost flies out of my hand onto the man's suit. I gasp out loud when I catch it in time before it spills out, and then I look at the man who knocked into me. It's NIEL. NIEL, the fuck? There's no hiding the purple hair after all, even though his eyes are covered by a dark shadow of the mask. He's wearing a black and white outfit that reminds me of a Joker. It looks well made. His bragging wasn't for no reason after all. To be honest, it looks rather good on him. I grin at him, of course. He had to be the first person I run into. You should have knocked into me a bit harder. At least then I'd get the pleasure of ruining another suit of yours, I joke. I stand there tall and proud, showing off my costume in all its full glory. I wait for his reaction, something I've been dying to see once I started working on my costume. NIEL straightens himself and cocks his head to the side. Excuse me? He says. Not the reaction I was hoping for. Oh, come on. I know you knocked into me on purpose. You should admit that at least. No, I did not. You're a strange one. I'm not the one knocking into people on purpose. Right. NIEL then continues to ignore me and resume looking through all the buffet food. I chew my lip and frown. Is that all he's going to do? He's not going to tease me. Not even a single word. I'm a bit peeved and it hasn't started anything aside from rudely bumping into me, so I guess I should be the one to start the battle of words. So did your tailor make that costume for you? With the way you bragged about him before, I expected you to come wearing nothing but a diamond-encrusted cape. There, he had to respond to that. NIEL looks up from the buffet, then he clasps his hands around the edges of his black blazer and pulls out his chest. My costume was made by the best. Thank you very much. He then turns on his heel and walks away from the buffet. The fuck? My mouth drops open. Did NIEL just ditch me? Oh no, he didn't. He disappears among the crowd, so I hurry after him, warming myself through the sea of people who are all trying to dance. I try to look over the costumes and tall hats, but the feathers and boas are blocking my sight, and soon I've lost NIEL. Why did he leave? Maybe he didn't recognize it was me. That could be it. I look so different from normal that NIEL had no idea it was me, perhaps. What if he has a brother or a cousin that looks exactly like him? I grow in frustration and try to worm myself past another lady, who suddenly notices I'm trying to get past her and she faces me. Why hello, there, pretty lady, she says with a slur in her words. Oh god, someone's drunk at this time already? How much does she have to drink? Where are you going? If her breath is any indicator, she drank a lot. Are you alone? No, I'll accompany you. You seem so lost and sad. I can't seem to really get a word in as the woman starts to ramble. Sad and lonely, like my cousin. You should meet him. I'm actually trying to. Well, then let's go meet him. She swings an arm around my neck and pulls me closer to her until I'm squished against her itchy costume. Against my will, I'm being dragged around by this random drunk woman when all I really want to do is find NIEL again. We pass by a couple of groups who are dancing until I'm suddenly thrown into the arms of a man. Who the fuck is that? Boy! The glass of champagne in my hand spills all over the floor. Some of it spats on the shoes of the strange man. I take a step back and cringe. What if this some celebrity I just spilled my drink on? Oh no, I'm so sorry about that. I got pushed. Look, I brought you a single lady, says the woman with a large smile. Now stop moping around and have fun. She looks like a perfect candidate to be your fiancé, no? She blows him a kiss and swaggers away. I see you've met my cousin, he says as he stares off into the distance where the woman disappeared to. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Here, let me clean this off for you. I place the empty glass down on my nearby table, then take my handkerchief from my purse and bend down to clean his shoe. I feel mortified for spilling champagne on a stranger or someone famous. A white mask greets my vision. The man is down on my level with his hand on top of mine. He's way too close for comfort. What are you doing? He asks. Cleaning, I said as simply, a bit flabbergasted this close to me and even holding my hand. It's making my heart beat a little fast. I gently take the handkerchief from my hands, wipes away the champagne from his shoe, and then he slips his hand into mine again and lifts me up. Suddenly, I feel like I'm being treated as a princess and the whole Cinderella feeling is back. I gulp and stare down at his gloved hand, which is still holding onto mine. This is a weird atmosphere. When he sees my eyes looking at our hands, he drops it. Well, what? It's been nice meeting you, but I need to go find my friend. I cut him off. I need to get back to NIEL. I don't really want to embarrass myself any further in front of celebrities. It makes me really completely out of place. However, didn't I decide to attend this ball so I could show off my dress to the other people? In case I could get some clients. Is this NIEL? Why would I be rushing out to find NIEL all of a sudden? Then again, I do still want to find him and make sure he knows it's me this time. A friend, he inquires. I simply nod my head and turn around to leave, but suddenly a hand grabs my hand, pulling me back. But wait, don't you need to replace your glass of champagne? Says the man. I frown. To me, it didn't really matter. Sure, I guess, and then I can get back to finding NIEL. The man snaps his finger to alert one of the waiters, who quickly comes down to offer a tray of glasses filled with champagne. The man picks one of the glasses and holds it out to me. For you, he says with a slight smile. Oh my god, did you see the shooting star in the background? That's such a nice touch! I'm like really into this. The man's voice is familiar, but I'm not quite sure where to place it. Perhaps I've seen him on TV? It's NIEL, right? Maybe. Gosh, I must really be talking to a celebrity. Well, if it is at this party, he has to be rich as well. Perhaps I can turn him into a client instead. Thank you. I gently grab it and quickly take a small sip. I really do apologize for spilling some on you. He smiles warmly at me. That's alright. I'm going to be needing more alcohol if he'll continue to treat me like a princess like this. He's starting to feel a little weird. The fact that everyone's wearing costumes and looking like glitter bomb went off in the palace or place doesn't really make matters feel a little less weird. Sarah will be jealous of me right now. I study the man in front of me. The man's costume is composed of a gold vest covered in a diamond pattern underneath a silky black blouse with matching black pants. There's a silver cape attached to his neck. It looks expensive and skillfully made. I admire whoever created it. It's fucking NIEL. You have a lovely costume, I compliment him, still looking for a way to turn him into a client of mine. He coughs, coyly turning his head away from me. Thank you. You, ma'am. Yours looks exquisite as well. Great, at least there's someone who likes my work. I give him a big smile. I feel like I can take on NIEL now and anything he dishes out at me. So, who's this friend of yours that you're looking for? He asks. I tap my fingers against the glass. NIEL and I aren't really friends, but how else do I describe him? Frenemies? Well, I guess we're not really friends, but I'm looking for him regardless. The man chuckles a little. Then, do you want to find this not friend together? What does he look like? Well, two people looking for someone is better than one, and at least he's being nice and everything, even though I was pushed into his arms and spilled champagne on him. If I did that with NIEL, I'll have an earful. Well, he looks like... Well, he's got purple hair, and he's got a black and white costume. Have you seen him around before? He asks. Yes, but I lost sight of him. He probably looking for a mirror so he can admire himself. The man snorts, then flashes me a smile. I know just the place. He then offers his arm to me, like a true gentleman, swept away in this ballroom in extravagant costumes and chivalry. I link my arms with his. I guess there's no harm getting a little bit of fun out of this event. Oh, this is so cool. It's like Phantom of the Opera vibe, and I love it. He leads me away from the crowd, further down another room, where the music is less loud. There aren't many people around, and NIEL isn't amongst them. I drink more of the champagne and place it down near another table. That's when I noticed the reason why he led me to this place. There are a few giant, intricate mirrors on the wall. The frames are old and painted gold, but the most amazing thing is seeing myself in the mirror. I don't look like me. It's no wonder NIEL didn't recognize me. I hardly recognize me. I feel like I'm looking through a window and staring at someone else. Someone who's living a much more interesting life than I am, wearing a dress I'd never wear. But for now, I am that person. The cloak of anonymity is like a high that I started to like. It's beautiful, I find myself saying. I step closer to the biggest mirror, my arm slipping away from the man. It's from the early 19th century, originating from France, the man explains. It is said that people believe this mirror would show your true self. He chuckles a little. Sometimes its truth is not what people wanted to see. To be honest, I feel like I'm not even looking at myself right now. Like it's someone else up there, I admit. I feel a bit sheepish though. Or is that too silly? The man is quiet for a bit, nothing but a slight smile appearing on his lips. That's not a silly thought at all, he reassures me. I can't imagine this is not your everyday wardrobe. But that's the allure of it, isn't it? He looks at me. To be someone you're not for a day? To talk to people you've never talked to before? I'm still staring at the mirror, and I see him standing next to me. We look like a fairy tale couple. A prince and a princess. Oh, it's like I'm in love with this. Maybe this is how Cinderella felt, I say. For one day, she got to experience what it's like to be someone else. So Cinderella does it feel like? What does it feel like? He asks with a devilish smile. I turn to face him this time and grin. I don't know. The night's only beginning. Her moment is ruined when the woman from before comes loudly crashing into the room. There you are, she yells as she spots the black-haired man. I can see him visibly cringe when the woman approaches him. That's NIEL. Look at that cringe mouth. Are you getting along with my cousin? Nicely, assume. I assume she then pinches the man's cheek. Been treating her well? Don't scare her off. She's got the best dress here among the drivel of swines, meaning she's your best chance at getting a fiancé. I blush a little at the compliment and feel a tiny bit weird due to the fiancé comment. He's been treating me well, I answer for him. Good job. Now be sure to give her a ride home. I'm going to see if they got any more of those expensive champagnes. Bye-bye now, darlings. Okay. The woman trails her boa around me, letting it slip around my neck before she scattles away. But not before tipping her on her own boa and then carrying on like nothing happened. Tripping, okay. I can't help myself. I laugh out loud. The black-haired man behind me keeps quiet. Your cousin is quite charming. He shrugs a little. Don't mind her. She makes it a point to get drunk as fast as possible. So take anything, she says with a grain of salt. But you'll give me a ride home, no? After all, she insisted on it. I toy with him. He smirks at me. Doesn't Cinderella have her own carriage? No, she doesn't. Remember, it turns into a pumpkin. Then maybe you should hurry and go home before midnight. Don't want that spell wearing off. I'm gonna save? Is there a point I can save? Can I save? Can I not save? I don't know. I don't know. Is this NIEL? I don't know if I can trust it anymore. Flirt with him. I mean, like, we're not in a relationship with NIEL. Yeah, fuck it. The smile on my lips linger a little bit. I feel myself swelling up in excitement. I don't know who this man is, yet I have no problems flirting with him. I even feeling brave enough. Must be the champagne. To lean into him, close enough for my dress to brush up against him, I poked my finger into his chest with a small giggle. I guess I'll have to come find you after midnight then. This man simply smirks at me, unafraid of my bold approach. Wasn't it the prince that was supposed to find Cinderella? Well, I don't mind if you chase me a little bit. Ooh, shit. I give him a wink and then reach for my champagne and turn around to leave him standing there speechless. I'm on some kind of sugar rush because I've never been this flirty before. It's because of the mask. It makes me feel like I can do anything to anyone. However, as much as I like flirting with the strange man, it's time to look for NIEL again. Or more clients. Either one will work. I explored the premises of the hotel and discovered quite a few more interesting rooms, as well as a large courtyard they have decorated with LED lights. The moon is out and a little bit chilly, but I'm determined to find the weasel of a man again and give him a piece of my mind. Maybe tease him about having other men flirting with me. Yes, that would be fun. I don't have much luck finding NIEL, but I've at least been mingling a tiny bit with the others at the party. Mostly I've been getting compliments on my costume and on every returned the favor, but NIEL is nowhere in sight. After I had 2 glasses of champagne, enough to loosen up, I finally spot the purple hair again. Hey! I call out to him and walk up. NIEL stops in his tracks to look at me. He's with a group of other men. Finally, I caught up with him. You think it's fun to make me run around looking for you? I don't think that's NIEL! Me? He asked, looking slightly confused. Yes, you. Who else? I think you may have mistaken me for someone else. I couldn't have mistaken your pompous attitude. It's unmistakable. Who's this? Asked the other man. I don't know. Some crazy lady, says NIEL. What? I'm not crazy. It's me, MeliZ. Come on, let's go, says the other man. No, wait, NIEL. I know it's you. Come back. I knew it. It's not NIEL. Green eyes stare back at me. That's definitely not NIEL. My blood runs cold. Oh, I say with a blank stare. Is this someone else completely... The man stares, snatches back his mask, and promptly puts it back on. Crazy, he mumbles. Then he scuffles away with his group of friends. I awkwardly slink away from the crowd and find a quiet spot behind a corner to gather my wits again. My cheeks are burning from the embarrassment. The chill of the night stings even more. I mistook some stranger for NIEL, and even made some really nasty remarks. Oh no, I really do look like crazy like this. I let this sink in for a while. The way I treat NIEL, other people are calling me crazy for it. Maybe it is crazy. Maybe those people are right. Oh, MeliZ. Our petty things and argumentative atmosphere? Why are we even doing it? But it's not like I wanted it to be this way. To always argue with NIEL. To find something to insult him on. No, in the beginning, I thought we could even be friends, considering we had met each other when we were kids before. And now look at us. We're essentially behaving like kids again. It doesn't matter that NIEL basically started it. It should have been the better person and not stoop down to his level. I am ashamed of my own actions, NIEL. I should have behaved so petty and bitter towards NIEL, yeah. I sit down on a lone wooden bench and sigh. I can't read! What am I even doing at this party? I know I convinced myself it's because I wanted to make some connections for my business, but I can't really fool myself any longer. To be truthful, I just wanted to rub it in his face that I have made a beautiful masquerade dress and hopefully he would have complimented me for it. Yet now I haven't even met the real NIEL. Is everything alright? I nearly jump out of my own skin when I hear a sudden voice from behind. I crane my neck to see who it is. It's the black-haired man from before. Sorry for startling you, he says. Can I sit next to you? It's NIEL. NIEL. I scoot over a bit and pull my dress along to make room for him. He slowly sits down next to me. I didn't see you around anymore. Thought you had already left in your own carriage, he says. I flash him a tiny smile. No carriage for me. I'm feeling a little bit like a pumpkin, actually. I guess it's true from what people say, that you can open up a lot towards a stranger than someone you know, because I have no trouble letting this man know what I'm feeling. And why is that? He asks in a soft voice. I look into the distance of the yard where all the other people are, dancing near the band playing music. I made a fool of myself, I admit. Did you always get drunk and start pinching people's cheeks? Not exactly. I just mistook some stranger for someone I know and I dislike. I treated him horribly. Ah, a case of mistaken identity, common during parties such as these. There's a silence between us. I can hear the sounds of the leaves ruffling in the wind, and I shiver just the tiniest bit. Like it's completely natural, the man leans closer to me, and I can feel his warm arm through his sleeve of his blouse. It's making my heart beat a little faster. Maybe you should treat people like that. You shouldn't treat people like that in the first place, he says. Not that I know what happened between you, of course. He quickly adds afterwards. That hits me right in the feels. He's completely right, of course. I shouldn't be treating Neil like that. Not at all. I just want to say it's because he started it first, but that's just an excuse. I shouldn't have gone along with it. Any of it, and I know it. No, you're right, I say with a sigh. How's your cousin doing? I decide to change the subject. Drunker. Lovely. I shiver once more. This man's body heat isn't enough to keep me warm. It's October after all. Before I can say anything, the man drapes his cape around my cape. I said cake. Okay, I get it. His cape around my shoulders. My fingers reach out for the ends to keep them from slipping off. And my eyes look over at the stranger. A buoyant feeling wells up in my heart. That was such a kind gesture. Thank you, I whisper. I don't know what makes me feel warmer, the cape or the stranger's actions. I fasten the cape so it stays around my shoulders. He simply nods his head at me and continues to look straight ahead to where all the people are dancing. My cousin, she hasn't yet done anything rash though. I usually expect her to be more of a troublemaker. He continues our conversation like nothing happened. Seems you're speaking from a lot of experience. I wish I wasn't. Growing up with her was hard enough, but then factor in that she's usually drunk. Sounds rough, I say. I don't really have much contact with my family aside from my mother. I think I would have liked having an older sibling or cousin looking out for me. Looking out for me? Meddling in my life? I don't really see a difference there, he says with a sigh. She just wants you to find your Cinderella, I tease him. He huffs at that. But haven't I found her already? He says while looking at me. Oh! He brushes his finger against the rim of my mask, and I feel myself holding my breath. He's quite daring, isn't he? But I can't say I dislike it. That depends. We haven't even danced yet, I managed to say. The man probably stands up from the bench. He bows slightly before me and extends his hand out to me. Will you dance with me? He asks sweetly. This man sure knows how to sweep me off my feet, so there isn't even any hesitation when I accept his hand. He gently leads me onto a more open spot, and we're still the only ones here. Well, there. I can see the crowd in the background, dancing as well to the slow music. He places an arm around my waist and slips his hand into mine. I place my other hand on his shoulder with a seductive smile. We begin to sway with him, taking the lead. Our bodies are close and I can feel my skin heat up in excitement. Suddenly, I don't need the cape anymore after all. With the sparkling LED lights and the moon out, this feels just like a fairy tale. I don't regret coming at all, even if I haven't met up with Neil yet. I found my knight in shining armor instead, I guess. How do you like the party so far? He asks. His voice is just a murmur in my ear. It's dazzling, that's for sure. He leans in closer, their grip on my hand tightening. You're the most dazzling out of them all. Oh, I fucking hell. I flush red at the compliment. He really doesn't back down on his flirting, but it's making me feel all warm and fuzzy and safe and secure in his arms. We continue to sway back and forth, just the two of us in complete silence. So how about now? Will you be my Cinderella? The man asks in a low and husky voice. Say yes! His face is leaning closer to mine, our masks are almost touching. Sure, fuck it. I had to find out something about something first. What's that? It's probably a mixture of alcohol and courage that makes me take the leap. I stand on my toes and my hands crawl from his shoulders towards the nape of his neck, where my fingers touch his soft black hair, and I lift my chin up. My entire body is buzzing with feeling, like some kind of drug. I force him to look down on me, our masks bump into each other, and I finally plant my lips on his. It's brief and innocent, mostly because he pulls back while drawing his breath. The grip around my waist loosens and he drops my hand. He stares at me in disbelief. I immediately feel my stomach churn and my face reddens at lightning speed. Oh my god, what have I done? You freaking done... whatever. Fine, no regrets. It feels like the longest second in the world as he stares at me in the shock. But then I'm pulled back into him and there's a hand on my cheek, guiding me closer to him as he kisses me. Whatever I felt just moments ago melts away in an instant, and instead I feel myself overwhelmed with passion. Aww. I cling my hand onto his vest and press closer to him, closer to his lips. They're warm like fire. I close my eyes and sigh against them. His lips caress me gently and almost hesitantly, trembling ever so slightly, as if he's afraid of something. But the longer we stay like this, the more confident he grows, especially when I'm responding and shivering to his touch. I am in disbelief with what's happening, and we both break away from each other. I stare at his lips, which are red and moist. I want nothing more than to throw myself back at those. I can't stop stuttering. I breathe harsher than normal, and we stay like this for a little while, him holding me in his arms. My hands slip around away from his neck and I press it against his chest instead. I look down and suck in a breath. My entire body is tingling. I'm even trembling a little, and it's most definitely not because it's chilly outside. Then he slowly lifts my mask a little bit, moving it out of the way so he can reach my lips again more easily this time. I hold back a moan. Oh shit, got the moans here! Oh, that's desperately fighting to escape. I daringly use my tongue to open his lips. Oh shit! When we touch, there's a zing going through my body like a shockwave. Forget about holding back moans. I have to try a harder time keeping myself standing straight. We kiss over and over again, our tongues hungrily intertwined. It's like time stood still at that moment. Our magical moment is broken when someone suddenly discovers us. It's the drunk cousin. Oh shit! Neil, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. Wow, hold on there. I told you to take her home, not to ravish her on the spot. We both jump away from each other, flustered that someone caught us making out. But that's also when my brain started to stop acting like mush, and I had a common sense return to me. Neil? I repeat, suddenly feeling my heart drop in my stomach. I knew his voice was eerily familiar, but it couldn't be, right? It can't be. I quickly take the mask off his face. Oh god, that's Neil. I feel my body turn to stone. There he is. Neil. With his golden eyes that were hidden away behind the mask, sporting a new black haircut, he's avoiding looking me in the eyes. But it's definitely Neil, alright. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Suddenly a million questions race through my head, and I'm filled with a feeling of disgust and betrayal. Why? Why? I'm not gonna slap him. There's no fucking reason. I repeat, you knew this whole time. Oh my god, was I really making out with Neil this entire time? He knew. Why did you pretend to not know me? Neil brings his hand to his face, covering his mouth and looking away from me. I feel like I'm intruding on something, says the cousin. No, you're not intruding on anything. I'm about to leave right now. Why does this voice sound so familiar? The voice actor's voice. Why does it sound familiar? Neil makes a move to try and prevent me from leaving, but I gather my dress in my hand and hurriedly dash away, refusing to look at Neil any longer. I flee the bar, running high on emotions. Yeah, you're gonna have to take that outfit off, Melly. Take that shit off. We don't need this. We don't need any of this. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Yeah, just... Fuck it, man, you know? Just fuck it. You don't need any of this. Let's get back to reality. Reality sucks. That is what we're learning!